call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. If everyone would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Jameson has a megaphone down there.
What's that?
You have a megaphone down there, huh?
Oh, I'm just loud.
Wendy's got the roll call up here. And I know that there's going to be additions, deletions to the agenda. I need somebody to do the amending for the agenda. Jameson?
So I move to add a presentation, which is a brief budget presentation by Zaid regarding the recreation budget for fiscal year 2025-2026.
And we will vote on that action item to accept and recommend to the Township Board.
I'll do that as a second edition.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? I guess I should ask any.
We need a second for that.
Do we
Yeah.
Second?
I'll second. Third. Whatever.
Okay, and then I move to amend the action item so that the Rec Commission moves to approve or disapprove the FY 25-26 budget for the Rec Department.
Any discussion? Second? I need a second.
I'll second.
Stacy, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm allowed to have a
Opposed?
question. Were we going to see it before we vote on it?
Yes.
That's what the presentation is.
Yeah, Zaid's going to do that. All right, I need a motion to accept the agenda as amended for tonight's meeting.
So moved.
All in
Second.
favor?
I'll second.
Okay.
We're fighting over it today.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. With that, I need an approval of the minutes that were submitted from the February 6, 2025 meeting. I know Madam Secretary Kearney is so great at typing all those up. With that, I need a motion.
So move.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries for the minutes approval. Okay, presentations. Zaid, you're going to come up and do the budget presentation? And I got a quick question, Jameson. So if he's doing the presentation now, then we wait till we get down to the action item to actually accept it and vote on it?
Yeah, so I think I asked Zaid to be here just because I think it's important that I know it's difficult to make a budget by committee, right? So if the 9 of us sat in a room trying to build a budget, it would probably take weeks and probably be a disaster, right? So that's why there's department heads and chairmans and whatnot. But ultimately, this is the rec department's budget, and you may have to log in.
Laura, you need to come in here, please.
But ultimately, it's the rec department's budget or the Community Recreation Commission's budget, right? And as a duly appointed board, this board should be aware of it and vote on it.
Yeah, we haven't had.
So,
Oh, there you go.
probably in the recycling bin.
Okay. So this week we went through our budget meetings. We've been compiling the budget for the 2025-26 fiscal year, and we kind of got through all of our meetings. And I just wanted to kind of go over the budget because I think it's important for the commission to at least understand it on a basic level. I'm not sure how much it was shared in the past before my time, but I do think it's important that the commission kind of knows what our budget lines are, our overall budget is, what our revenues are, and what our expenditures are. And kind of just that way, if there's any questions about what we're spending our money on and that kind of stuff, it's easier for the commission to kind of understand where it's going and where it's coming from. So our budget is split into different funds. So I'm going to start going through just a couple of them. I'm just going to give a brief overview. And if you guys have questions with them, just feel free to ask. So our first one is our community block grant fund. We get $20,000 a year for our senior transportation and our senior events, which we use to pay our senior transport driver and then also to fund our senior luncheons. So we have $20,000, and you can see we have $16,000 for the senior transportation, and then $4,000 for our quarterly senior citizen activities.
We have to zoom in a little bit.
On that thing, the little knob.
Yeah, knob thing that turns, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So it's pretty straightforward. Doesn't really change each year. I keep it about the same. That gives us about roughly $1,000 to use for our senior luncheons because we do 4 a year. And then the $16,000, like I said, helps pay for our senior transport driver. So our next fund is Centennial Farm, and this is just a overall breakdown of our revenues and expenditures with our cell tower income, our rent income, and then other income. So one thing that I did want to go over with the Centennial Farm Fund is, that's expenditures. Let me go to revenues real quick. So for our revenues, one line item that is new this year is our dog park fees. I realized that we were not receiving the money from people paying for the dog park to use it year round. It was going into the general fund. So I corrected that, and that is now a line item for our revenues for Centennial Farm. You see the cell tower lease, and then when you look at the rent income, it includes Luton's pay, monthly pay, and then also it includes our farm activity room and pavilion rentals per year. So that's where you get that number from. And then our expenditures, we have cable and internet, insurance and bonds, electricity, natural gas, water, and then maintenance and repair. A lot of that, like you see, weed control, snow removal, grass cutting, pond maintenance, various things like that, surfacing the playground. And then we have a reserve for capital improvements, certain things I'm trying to do at the farm, fixing windows on the red barn. We have all single pane windows at the red barn that need to be fixed. In the contract with Luton, it states that we have to purchase him a shed that was put in there after the fencing was taken down on a certain portion of Centennial Farm, so we have to purchase him a shed. And then we're fixing the insulation inside of the arena because it was just torn up by birds. What we're going to be doing is spray foaming it and then covering it with some like thin like metal liner so that animals can't actually get into the insulation. If we just do insulation, it's just going to go back to the same situation. And then we have a future improvements fund as well.
So we're looking at a little over $40,000 in improvements just for stuff that's happening at the horse area, right?
Yes, that's correct. So there was just a lot of things there that were not kept up to date that needed to be done. We've done several things there this year as far as fixing lights, fixing electrical outlets that were not working, fixing broken windows on the white barn, and then we had a horse stable that was sitting out for a couple of years, and we had to use a little bit different wood on some of it because it was sitting in the weather for a couple of years that we had to put up as well. So here's a summary of our revenues for the recreation department, and you see our golf revenues, marina revenues, pool revenues, the recreation department revenues, which does actually include our millage, which is roughly $661,000 a year, Island Fest revenues, and then Water's Edge Complex revenues. And then you see the relative expenses. So I'll put these sheets up for each one, and then I'll kind of, choose the ones that are just kind of showing that might have changed a little bit. But if you have any questions with specific ones, just let me know.
So are we going to be getting copies of this? Because every year in the past, we did get a copy of the budget.
Yeah, if you need a
before-
copy, just, you can let me know. I can get you
Can
a
we
copy.
all just email one to
Yeah.
everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So question, so these are, it's a budget, so it's obviously these are projected revenues and projected expenses.
Yes.
Okay. And so you you took whatever we had last year and added some sort of factor based on history and on
Inflation
and okay.
and a couple different things, just relative to money we made last year on different things. Like when you look at the marina revenues, we increased the price of the marina, and I did that before the actual season opened. So then it was kind of like an educated guess. And now this year we're kind of have more of an idea of what we're going to be making with at the marina and at the golf course and different places too.
Right. So I'm just seeing that you're netting everything out basically like break even. And so do you do that just to have reserves and things like that for expenditures? Or?
Yes. So when I actually did the budget, we came up, I believe, $32,000 in extra revenue for this year. And then we just allocate it throughout the budget just to make sure everything evens out.
I was just trying to understand the methodology, but it makes
Yeah.
sense. Thank you.
Yeah, the township budgets have to be balanced. So there is a little bit of like funny math. You'll see with some of the what do they call operational transfers, Zaid?
Transfers in, transfers out.
Yeah, you'll see where they're shifting money between sub departments of rec, and I think that it makes a lot of sense.
I think what helps too is in the past, we've always gotten a breakdown of like the past 3 or 4 years of where revenue's coming in and where we're not making what we did before or making more than we did before. And that I thought always helped too. So, but I have copies of all this as they gave me, but I'd like y'all just to, when you get yours, print out a hard copy and look at it.
Yeah, that's good. I'm good with the roll up too. I just needed to understand the methodology. So.
So here's some of our golf revenues. You see our sales tax, merchandise and concession, our daily green fees, which went up from the previous year just because we raised the price of our golf course. The big thing that did go up is our range balls. Our range was used quite a bit more than in previous years. We made, I believe, $8,500 more than we projected in the previous year. Same with power carts and pull hand carts. They went up a little bit as well. So our salaries, it had raised a little bit as well too. What I did when I came in was I looked at the market value for just what pro shop staff members, lifeguards were making, part-time workers were making, and I leveled everything out relative to different municipal golf courses, pools, different things like that. So last year, again, it was somewhat, I would say like an educated guess of what we would need, and this year we have more of an idea of what we would need for the golf course and our part-time salary workers. You have FICA, workers' comp. Our supplies did go up, and that's a lot of that is just different things as far as like buying supplies for the pro shop, different things like that. Gas and oil, sand, range balls, equipment rental, maintenance and repairs for the golf course, and then you see that operating transfer out. Here's our marina, and as you can see, our transient dockage, we are trying to improve our transient dockage this year, so hopefully we can get that bumped up the number. And our summer dockage and our winter dockage, that's what we had budgeted out in 2024-25 for revenues, and I had bumped that up because we made roughly about $84,000 in summer dockage, and then winter dockage, I believe we made about 48 or 48.5. So again, that was because we did raise the price. I did like market research just on the marinas around the area to make sure that we were at around market value, and we're still lower than many of the marinas around us, and we were able to make a pretty solid profit this year on our summer and winter dockage. And these are our relative expenses. Supplies, equipment rental is a little higher just the cost of porta potties and inflation. Maintenance and repairs did drop. We had a lot of money in that just because I know in previous years we had work that needed to be done in that, but These days, we don't need as much in that fund. That's why you see that drop. Independent contractors is what we're paying our dock master. Insurance and bonds did go up 4,200, but that was because I found out that our ocean marine liability that we're paying each year, our insurance and that kind of stuff, was not being taken out of that specific fund. So that's why you see that price increase. And then this principal payment interfund loan, it was a loan we took from the township for marina work, and it is the final payment this year that we'll have for that said fund. So that 15,600 this is the last year that we're going to be paying that. So for our pool revenues, you see pool fees dropped a little bit just relative to what we made last year. Unlimited pool passes stayed the same. Swim lessons, special pool events, concessions, pool rentals did drop. Just we didn't have as many pool rentals last year or the year prior. And then pool fitness, water aerobics, and then we have that operating transfer in.
Hey, Zaid, on the pool, because I was thinking about this, today. So it looks like there was a decline in several of the pool's revenue streams. Was there operational issues with the pool?
Not too much. I mean, I just think it was just the number of people coming in. You know, like as far as the pool fees, we just weren't getting as many people coming into the said pool this year.
So it wasn't like down for 2 weeks for repairs or anything like that? Or
No, we opened it at the same time. We did all of the repairs that we needed to prior to actually opening up. So
Okay.
and then pool expenses, our salaries. Again, when you look at 2024-25, that's 32,500. Again, we did this budget last year before our first pool season with these increased wages for our lifeguards and swim teachers. We needed to increase the wages just because we were losing lifeguards to other organizations. FICA, workers' comp, supplies dropped a little. We just didn't need as much like relative to last year. Maintenance and repairs, we dropped that a lot just because we don't need to do as much. There was a lot of work that needed to be done on the pool prior. Our pump room, we had a lot of work that was needed to be done. It was not compliant, and it was actually, we were told that it was hazardous, so we needed to get a lot of things replaced in there. We replaced electrical. I know people were having some issues with like the fence. They would get shocked by the fence because of the electrical wiring at the
I did.
pool. Chad
got
got shocked, so we had to fix that. We had to fix the lights in the pool, and then we had to fix the liner as well, just for hazard reasons. You know, just having big holes in the actual liner. So there was a lot of work that needed to be done. But this year, you know, there's still things we need to do. Obviously, with the pool house, we have our grant coming in to fix the pool house, but to fix the pool, the actual physical pool, like the liner, what we're going to have to do is they have to manually go in and chip out the liner and put a new liner in. So that's something we're most likely going to have to get a grant to do. You know, there's certain things like that. And the golf course, for example, replacing the sprinkler system, it's not something we can necessarily just budget out because it's just a large project. You know, you're talking $100 to $150 to $200,000. So that's something we're going to have to look at grants for in the future.
So just on a side note on that, I know we talked about this several times. In a lot of states where, for whatever reason, they don't want to waste water.
Yes.
So just watering the greens only?
Yes, not the fairways, but just the greens. Yeah, correct. That's more important than the actual
I
fairways.
thought we were talking about pools.
Well, I just had mentioned the golf course with the sprinkler systems.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right, calm down.
And then you see our chemicals. We didn't need as many chemicals last year just because we got the pump room fixed. And that was one of the issues before with the pump room not being fixed. We were having to constantly put new chlorine, and we were spending a lot of money on chlorine because it wasn't being filtered out the correct way. And then our permits and monitoring, that's just basic Eagle permits just for the pool. And then we do have a reserve for capital improvements fund. That's another one that's in there, like I had mentioned, where we had when I was doing the budget, our revenues exceeded our expenditures. So that's one line that we put in there to level out the budget.
I got a question, not to go backwards, but where you had like the $600 for events at the pool, was that money that we brought in, or was that what we spent doing those little parties and stuff?
So the pool parties, that would have gone into like pool rentals. The expenses, I believe it was from a couple years ago, but we had actually taken that line item out because we hadn't made anything in it the previous year.
Now it just goes into like events in general that the rec department does.
For any at the pool, like if someone rents the pool, it would go into pool rentals.
No, like the
Oh, like-
Talking about
nights and all
like
that
Christmas
stuff.
in July and everything.
Yeah, no, that would go into events, special cultural event, that kind of stuff.
All right.
So here's our millage. As you can see, it only went up 0.95% this year. Jameson, did you want to talk about that at all? Why the millage only went up 0.95%? Relative to the brownfield issue.
Yeah, I guess it's so you can only. Are you talking about Headley? I'm not tracking the brownfield issue then.
Okay. I'd have to get the specifics of it, but there's a reason why it only went up 0.95% this year. But I can get more information on that, and I can send that when I send out the actual reports to you guys in an email explaining that. Special and cultural.
Is there a requirement that we divert a certain amount of it to brownfield or something?
Yes, I believe
Okay.
that's what
Yeah,
it
I'm not
was.
tracking that. I'd be curious to.
And I believe it didn't happen last year.
So
it was,
now it has to happen twice,
I
essentially.
believe so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. I guess if you get the specifics, I'd be curious to.
Because normally it's definitely more than a 0.95% increase each
Okay.
year. So, and then you see the relative special cultural events, aerobics. So the big thing I want to mention is the van service. So you see we have $15,000, and then we have smart funding for the van, and then Farebox. Farebox is the money that we collect when people use our van service. Smart funding is money that we get through Smart that helps us with this service. I went back and I looked through my emails and my information, and I found out that Smart had not paid us for an entire year for funding, and I have talked to them, and I'm trying to correct that issue. They understand that they owe us money for that, so that comes out usually in quarterly payments relative to about $12,000 that we receive. So that budget line right there where it says 2,095, that's going to jump up once that gets fixed. Summer camp, we had budgeted out $25,000. We actually made $30,000 last year from summer camps. General youth, you see the large jump just because of our after-school programs that Wendy, of course, has been helping with and setting up with the schools. And that also includes our sports and art summer camps, special events, and then our basketball summer camps as well. And then general adult and seniors also jumped up just from the evening or morning adult classes that we have. And then here are our expenditures. We have our part-time regular, our full-time, our overtime uniform allowance. Each of our full-time maintenance workers get a $1,000 uniform allowance at the beginning of each fiscal year. And then health insurance, retiree medical, all the way down to workers' comp. That is kind of a calculation that I have Teresa do. That's just relative to percentages. And then our supplies funds, it is at $8,500, but I am actually adding some more into that fund just for separate things. It was $6,000 the year before, but copy machine lease, copies, general supplies that we need for different things. And then bank charges, that is also going to be changed. So what we have been doing, and we were doing in the past, is anytime someone would sign up for a class or an event or rent a facility from us, we were absorbing the credit card charges. So starting August 1st, we're going to be passing that on to people. We can't do it now because we have sent out our summer dockage paperwork to everyone that doesn't have that stated on. So if we're going to do it, it has to be for everyone. We can't just tell people, okay, well, if you're getting summer dockage, you don't have to pay that fee. But starting August 1st, that's going to all be pushed on, and that's going to be, it's just anywhere like what you see at a gas station or a restaurant. Anytime you use a credit card, that's just relative the amount for everything that people use for credit cards in the department.
Yeah, that one really grabbed me when I saw that $12,000 and what we're paying to let people use their cards seems like a lot of money, you know?
Especially when you get to like summer dockage and winter dockage and that kind of stuff. So that's why that's definitely changing.
But do you raise the price of the dockage, or do you just have them absorb the cost of the credit card?
It'll just be the cost. So if whatever they're paying, it'll be, and then 3% on top of that, or actually it's 2.5% on top of that. Yeah.
And that's for all the classes too? Like if somebody registered for
Any,
classes?
if anyone's using a credit card, yes, correct.
I wonder, and I'm not an expert on this, maybe somebody else on the commission is, but I wonder from a marketing and pricing perspective if it makes more sense to just increase all of our rates 2.5% instead of saying, hey, we're going to charge you extra if you use a credit card.
That's kind of what I was
kind of
just
agree with
asking.
that. My friend did the same thing. She said, I'm not going to do that to people. I'm going to just raise everything by a certain percentage, because when they start seeing that little fee
Yeah.
pop up, they get more upset about the little fee than if you just raised it $5 for the
Yeah.
class.
And we can do that, you know, just whatever we want to do to offset that cost is what we're going to do. So,
Yeah, or I don't know, a 2.5% administrative processing fee, right? You know.
Let's see.
and postage, $1,500 that we just sending things out from the office. Next line, gas and oil for our department vehicles, independent contractors. I took out because we don't really need that as far as like engineering and architectural costs for anything. For that kind of stuff, that's really going to be covered by like grant work, like the pool house. That's covered by grant work. We don't need to be doing that on the side for anything. Auditing fees, legal fees, administrative expenses. Administrative expenses, from what I've been told from Teresa, was just a number that is calculated relative to that specific departmental fund.
What does that mean?
Administrative expenses,
Oh,
want to go into that a little bit?
yeah. So as an example, one of the systems we use is, or we're about to start using, is Clearview Government, which is a new municipal finance system. Or copier contracts, paper. It's essentially a fee that rec pays to the general fund to help cover the services the general fund pays for rec. So it's given to every department, and I believe it's proportional to the department's budget. So
general fund isn't giving us the money; we're paying it back, right?
yeah. So I mean, there's support that the general, so as an example, the clerk, the treasurer, and the manager are all general fund accounts. So there are services that those divisions of local government provide that benefit rec, and then rec essentially compensates the general fund for that. So I mean, because ultimately it's all the same municipal budget, right? So is it just budget smoke and mirrors? Yes, but for the purposes of being able to account for that administrative service, it makes sense to just have rec pay a service fee.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's your administrative service fee.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, so then special and cultural events, that has, I put some more money into that just for entertainment, equipment rental, maintenance and supplies. Aerobics, you see a drop, just that's relative to the previous year and what we actually spent, or what the costs were for aerobics. And then general youth, you see that jump up. And that jump up is just paying our instructors. We have a 70-30 split with most instructors, I believe, outside of one, I believe tennis. And that's just the jump up in cost is relative to us paying those instructors.
A family event under general youth opposed to a culture event.
Family events and entertainment, I mean, there's really not too much of a difference. I mean, we have like enrichment, the camps, family events. We don't really have too many that come in there. Like, we don't have any events that would really be registered as family events if they're not under special and cultural events.
I think the line item is general youth, so you could write whatever you wanted under there, right? So, I did want to say I didn't see. I don't have the budget in front of me. I guess I could pull it up on my phone, but revenues for general youth 831.117. I think you had that at $78,000.
Nope, you just put it back in your hand. Very last one. Yeah, the one you were just looking.
Well, I was looking for revenues, right? Because I believe it was $54,000. I guess that's very optimistic that we're gonna, unless we did have 50 grand in actual in FY24, 50 grand in actual in revenue from general youth. It's really ambitious to say that we're going to more than double the revenue this year.
It was close to that, actually.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think it
as
actually was
long
about,
as you have like a
yeah.
real world rational reason for that, I'm for it.
I
So
believe it was actually 57,000, so this was
Okay.
kind of a conservative
Good
number.
70
Yeah.
to 80% of our events go into general youth.
okay.
Go and like major holiday events, you got like 3 or 4 different dances, which include daddy daughter. You've got all the sports, all the camps. There's a lot.
So I will mention too, in general youth, a lot of the stuff like when we pay for, to Tipsy Fish to cater the daddy-daughter dance, that's coming out of the general youth fund. That's what we're paying to as well. So it might seem like, well, we have all these classes. How are we only making like a $7,000 difference? It's because there's more that comes out of the general youth than just paying instructors.
Yeah, because then I see that you said that food services out of general youth, and then I see the food at cultural events. So I just was a little confused.
So I guess my understanding of it, and Zaid, correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys have a band come play at Tipsy Fish, that's a cultural event.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a daddy-daughter dance, that's a youth event.
Yes, correct. It's really just relative to who we're catering to, the market we're catering to, the age range we're catering to. So then we have general athletics. That's just supplies that went down a little bit just because we don't have to buy as much stuff for our summer camps and different things. Promotion did go up to 12,500, and I'm actually raising that probably up to about 15,000, just because of the market and numbers and certain tariffs that have been coming out in the last couple of months. That's going to cost, publishing costs are going to be going up anywhere from 15 to 20%. So we need to prepare for that. So that's why I'm going to be adding some more money into promotion. Maintenance and repairs went up a little bit. Vehicle maintenance went down just relative to last year. And then memberships and dues stayed the same. Education and training, and then conference and workshops have all stayed the same. And then we do have a reserve for capital improvements, and then Township Code Red app that we have each year that stayed the same as well. So as far as Island Fest goes, here is our revenue sheet. We have $4,000 for concessions, and again, that's just relative to what we made last year. Fundraiser and events stayed the same. Carnival and rides went up just to what we sold as far, or the portion that we got from ticket sales, and then alcohol sales went up as well. Exhibitor fees stayed the same, and then sponsorship stayed the same as well. As far as expenditures go, I took out the supplies fund at the top 727.000, and I actually added it to miscellaneous expenses because it's you have a supplies line in miscellaneous expense, so I just took that one off of the top. Entertainment stayed the same. VIP area went down a little bit just relative to what we spent last year. Promotion went up 500. Miscellaneous expenses, I did raise 2,500 because, like I said, I added that supplies line into it, and just to make sure we have everything we need for that event as far as trash bags, etc., all that kind of stuff. Equipment rentals did go up just relative to inflation. And then special events did go up because last year we paid $15,000 for a drone show. This year we're going back to fireworks, so it's going to be costing $20,000.
Which in the past, it was always around 20,000 for the fireworks. So last year it went down 5,000.
And then this last line, reimbursement for other departments, that is something I would almost put an asterisk next to it because I don't think that's actually going to be in the budget line in the future. Hence kind of what we talked about in the meeting yesterday about that, where we, don't think we should be paying, reimbursing departments for those funds relative to Island Fest. I mean, it is a township event. It's not just a rec event. So that I would, like I said, put a little asterisk next to that part right there. All right, so complex. We have our restaurant lease. Like you say, we have our rent, electric, gas, and liquor liability insurance. So for our liquor license, we as the township pays for the liquor liability each year, and then we're refunded by the Tipsy Fish. And then last year was done in one whole piece, but this year it's actually going to be broken up into by 10 months that they're going to be paying us back for this liquor liability. And this year is the second year of our lease. In year 4, it goes up. There's an escalator clause in the contract. It's a 5-year contract. So year 4 and year 5, there's a 3% escalator clause for their rent that will begin in year 4. And then expenditures, maintenance and repairs. Just various things like updating the bathroom exterior painting, brick and mortar. There's still things we need to do on the complex. We need to replace some doors, some windows, update the bathroom, the tile, different things. The telephone did actually drop, and one of the reasons why is I had found out that we were paying 2 Comcast bills. In the past, apparently there was 3 or 4 years ago, we had switched to, tried to switch Comcast bills, and one of the services was not turned off. So I went ahead and took care of that. So that should save us roughly, I believe, $7,000 a year in expenditures. Insurance and bonds for general liability. Electric went up. Natural gas went up a little bit. Water stayed the same. And the computer network did go up. Just as far as that's a big thing with that is we're switching to Civic Plus, a new registration system, and there was an upfront cost of $3,500 to switch. But then after that, each year it actually is cheaper by about $500 to use that relative to Sportsman. Civic Plus is what, when you look at a lot of major cities, Livonia, Plymouth, Novi, this is the system that they use. It's a lot easier for us to use. It's a lot easier for citizens to use. You can see everything in real time as far as wanting to rent facilities. You can see all of that online. It's a lot easier for people to register for classes, filter things out. It's just a much better registration system. And then you have the Reserve for Capital Improvements, just 2 computers. We had Cygnus and VC3 come out, and our pool computer and then one of our office computers is very out of date, and we just need to replace those computers. So we have some money put aside for those. So our overall budget is $1.387 million for this fiscal year. And then our millage, money we're getting from millage, is about $661,000. So everything else that we're making is all revenues that we're bringing in through rentals, classes, various things like that. Any questions?
Questions for Zaid? Good. Thank you, sir.
Problem.
We'll vote on that when we get down to the action items. Any public comment? Okay. Any discussion? Okay, now we're at the action item. All right. So the motion for the, Jameis, you want to put that out there to recommend to Township Board that we approve the budget for the 2025?
I move that the Community Recreation Commission approves the 2025-2026 fiscal year budget with the caveat that the Township Board may still make further modifications.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion about this? We'll do a roll on this. Naso? Keith?
Yes.
Marissa?
Yes.
Stacy?
Yes.
Yes from me. Wendy?
Yes.
Jameson?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you. All right, Island Fest 2025 assignments. We are going to be doing a meeting with Kevin, Stacy, and myself, and probably Wendy. If you got, oh, well, I guess it's going to be. Well, we can't have a quorum.
It's for Island Fest. It's not for the rest.
Well, and we're just gonna tweak everything that we got going on down there, and that's pretty much it. Stacy, you want to elaborate on that, or?
No, we're just gonna basically look at what we've done in the past. We've got notes from our past years. We're gonna make specific assignments for the people that have been involved and clarify what we're gonna be doing just to make it easier on you, Chad. We're all about you, Chad.
I would point out that Island Fest is a account of rec, so it's fine for a quorum or subcommittee to meet, and it doesn't have to be an open session, but there can't be any debate or votes.
Okay.
So if you guys want to get together and talk about Island Fest,
Yeah, it's gonna be. Are we gonna put a lock on that? Yes, we are. Those are the questions we're gonna answer. Who's gonna
Okay.
be in charge of getting the liquor from the one room to the other?
yeah, I don't think that rises to the point of the public.
There'll be no
needing to
voting.
It's logistics.
Logistics. Okay. You good, Jameson?
I am.
All righty. I want to read a couple things about the bylaws here. I gave you each a copy, and at our last meeting, I believe, and no, it was at the last meeting, I gave you all a copy of the bylaws and stuff and asked you to take it home and look them over. I get asked a lot about why this commission's so big, and in 2005,
So much fun.
Stop. Well, that and hardworking, but they combined the Recreation Commission and the former Water's Edge Commission. The Township Board did all that. We're supposed to have 9 individuals who are supported, 1 Township Board member, which we have with Jameson, and our Recreation Director is a non-voting member. Right now, we're sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4. What we have 8 with Eileen. So we do have 1 opening still, which I'm going to get to that in a minute. Where else am I going with this? You all know about the terms. We have staggered terms. There are no limits on the number of terms that any commissioner may serve. I know that I think the March meeting for Township, you guys are going to bring Wendy and Naso back on,
Yeah.
and me.
Yes, you'll be confirmed. Yep.
And then vacancies. General duties. The commission shall act as an advisory commission to the Township Board. So like Zay just did that presentation. I know that we've had a few things that changed in the department, and I respect that and I understand. I just would like for all of us to be more up to date and involved with anything that we're going to recommend in the future.
I have a quick question on
Yeah.
that. What is the limit that Zaid is allowed to purchase and or move through the budget without contacting us? Isn't there $1,000?
$10,000.
Okay.
Well, I was going to get to that too. Yeah. If it's anything, he's going to spend over 10 grand, then it's supposed to come in from the commission, yeah, for a vote. Commission shall consider the study and make recommendations relative to the department and our programs, blah, 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 study. Anyway, what I'm just trying to say is we have to recommend to the board. We can vote all we want, but when it comes down to it, we're just making recommendations. Other than what's in our department, we're making recommendations to the Township Board. We have the Recreation Commission has general supervision over the maintenance, operations, expenditures for the Recreation Department, such as Water's Edge Marina, the golf course, the driving range, the swimming pool, Centennial Farm, Playscape, Airport Recreation Area, which are the fields across the street, and any property owned or leased by the Township or Township Board that delegates to the Commission. The Commission shall have the authority to impose all necessary rules and regulations and governing over all those areas I just said. So we got a lot more than just throwing a party and stuff, and a class. And Thanks, Eileen. It's just a lot.
Why it's a big commission.
It is. It's a good answer. The rec commission shall consider, study, and recommend an overall master plan for the development of the programs and use of commission properties. Blah, blah, blah. The commission shall review and recommend the annual budget or annual budgets for the approval of the township board. Commission shall request such assistance. If we need assistance, and this is where I think is going to come in with, I'm taking this like the police and the fire department and all that. If we need assistance with something, we should be able to get a hold of them and say, hey, this is what's going on.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me.
Okay, well, it's more detailed here, but I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just I highlighted this earlier. Assistance of township employees, blah, 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 to help us perform our duties. We shall also recommend and review any kind of contracts or leases for adoption and approval by the township board. At the annual meeting, the township board, but I just asked Jameson about, will approve whoever's terms are up and stuff like that, which is coming up. So once again, if you guys have any questions about this, go back and read your Recreation Commission Chapter 67 article. Is that 11?
It's
It's a whole bunch of them.
6710
Yeah.
covers commissions, and I don't know what letter Recreation Commission is, but it's a sub article of 6710.
So I found it very interesting, and I have more copies if you guys didn't take yours home and study them. Thank you. With that, we do have one opening. We had someone submit a application. Thank you, Ash. She's so quiet over there. Thank you. And she's in the room. So, Tawana, I'm going to ask you to come up here and just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you, maybe your family, and how long you've lived here. And this is Tawana Babs. I know her. She did put in an application, and I know she's a hard worker. And any of you don't know her, but most of you do. Stacy's all perked up, and Marissa and everybody. Hey, girl, speak into the microphone, your name and where you live.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Tawana Babs. I am a resident of Grosse Hill. I lived here now about 4.5 years. I have 2 sons. My youngest, Ethan, is a senior at the high school, class of 25. I am a banker with Fifth Third Bank. I also serve on several boards. I am the vice president of the Black Pearl Nail Academy, which is located in Memphis, Tennessee. I am former president of the Detroit Redford High School Alumni Association. I am also the owner of T&T Catering, which is in part-time operation, in addition to a couple of other things I do. But the reason I'm here, I relocated from Garden City to Grosse Hill January 6, 2021 is when I purchased my home. I love it here. Grosse Hill has always been near and dear to me, and this is what I consider my forever home. So I just want to play my part. I have volunteered every year I've lived here at Island Fest. I just believe the only way you can make things better is by putting in the work yourself and just lending a hand where you're needed. And so the call went out on the Grosse Hill Now page, and I just figured I'd step up.
Thank you so much. Any questions for Tawana?
You just don't have enough to do. You're like, I'll get one more.
Apparently not.
I'm just
Apparently
playing
not.
with you. All right,
A
well.
fabulous baker, too. I mean,
I see you at Island Fest every year. I see you out and about. I'm really excited.
Thank you.
thank you so much. Did you apply for any other commissions? Are we allowed to ask that?
Sure.
Oh, did you
I
apply?
mean, this isn't an interview. This is
No,
just
no,
public
I know,
comment,
but I
technically.
saw her in the
No
audience. and
pressure.
thought,
I inquired about another commission. Apparently, there's no one on the commission, so they took and held my
Festival.
name.
No, communications.
Communications.
So Communications Commission is being established. So if you're interested in it, did you list that on your application too, or did you leave it off?
Zayd and I got that. Didn't you get the email from her about her?
Yeah. So you would have if she put she was interested in the Rec Commission.
I just
right?
got
But
it for Rec Commission.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
maybe submit another one for Communications because that's going to be a thing. So unless you don't want to be on 2 commissions.
Well,
This
as
is
you
way
can
more
see,
fun.
I kind of got a lot on my plate.
We
so-
can be on 2 commissions?
Ken.
Yes, you
Oh,
can.
it's about to get real.
No, 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 none of you are going in here. Yeah.
We were Island Fest and Rec.
Yeah. Thanks, Tawana. I didn't mean to call you out like that, but
problem.
did you have a cheat sheet there? Oh. All right, thank you. She brought the agenda, yeah. Okay, speaking of Island Fest, it's May 30, 31, June 1. Anybody that has any questions about, I'm just going to say this. You guys come and provide the fun and leave the logistics to us. I think that's what's going to be on the back of our volunteer shirt.
That's a lot of
Just bring the fun and leave the logistics. We've thought of the bridge. We've thought of a lot of things. We trust us, people. We got this. All right. Or we'll give you rides. Yeah. Bowling is this Saturday, right? And
Correct.
thank you, Eileen. I know you're watching this meeting while you're taking care of your puppies. I know that you. I'm sure you volunteered, a wink, wink, for that, because I heard that you were getting a phone call. So thank you. I think it's Eileen's first event that she's actually going to be overseeing. So yay. Don't forget our annual Easter egg hunt is going to be Saturday, April 12th at 10 a.m. And is the Easter Bunny still on board?
Yes.
He is. They are still on board. The bunny.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Funny can, yeah.
Funny. Something else that you might find interesting today, I had a meeting with the chair people for the Bikes and Path Advisory Committee and the Open Space and Greenways. Did I get that right? Open Space and Greenways. And Ross and JB, our community development people, and we all met and we discussed a lot of things with bike paths and things with open space. And of course, they all want some help with the recreation department, but I'll get with Zaid about all that stuff and all that boring things. But it's all good. It's all good. And I thought it was great that we got 3 of the chair people for these different commissions and 2 of our township employees all in a room together and discussed what would be good, positive things going forward for our community with getting you around town and things you can do and see and visit. And so, yay, Chad.
Hey, Chad.
I'm glad that you met with those people.
Great work, Chad.
Thank you.
You are
Well,
phenomenal,
you got
Chad.
yours going. And for my chairperson's report, that's pretty much going to do it. So with that, we're going to give it to Zaid for the director's report.
So mine's a little short just because a big part of mine was doing that presentation with our budget. I've been working on that for the past 3 or 4 weeks, just trying to make sure that we have everything we need and in the right funds and all that kind of stuff. But finally through it, which is good. We're going to be going to, it's going to be, when was the board meeting for that, when they finalize it?
The budget?
Yeah.
The 24th?
24th is when it goes, and then our fiscal year will start April 1st. And then I wanted to give an update on the pool house. So like I had mentioned, we received a $552,000 grant from Wayne County to update our pool house to make it more ADA compliant. We were awarded the grant. We are just now waiting for HUD. There was a federal freeze on funding, and that did affect community block grants, but we should still be receiving this money, and hopefully we can get this work started in either late spring or the fall. It's either going to be one of those. It's not going to happen in the summer because we would have to close the pool, and we're just not going to do that. So. And then I wanted to mention that we are going to be opening up our golf course April 1st, and we are looking for volunteer rangers still. And we are bringing back our summer camp this year, and we are looking for some camp counselors. And we'll be getting more into detail about that over the next couple of months for the dates, but it is an 8-week camp. There's full-day options. This year there's half-day options as well. You can do an AM session or a PM session just to make it easier for people. It's held at Centennial Farms in Water's Edge, and it runs from the middle of June all the way through the middle of August. And the average age, anywhere from 6 years old to 11 years old. And that is my report.
Thank you. Assistant Director?
The job fair.
Yeah, you want to talk about the job fair? Is your mic on, Ash?
Is it?
All right, so just to kind of go over the job fair real quick, we did have a lot of students come up to us, Tipsy Fish, and the airport to kind of go into a little bit more detail for everyone, especially for one thing, age. You do have to be 18 to work for the airport for the position that they need. And then both us and the Tipsy Fish, you have to be 15 or older. If they are turning 15 by the time, the summer starts, the pool starts, then that's fine. If they're turning 15 by then, that's totally fine. So we are hiring, obviously, for the pool and for our summer camps. Like Zaid said, for the camp counselors, we're looking for camp counselors and head camp counselor. I think 2 head camp counselors, did you say on?
2 head camp counselors and 3 to 4 general camp counselors.
And then for the pool, looking for lifeguards, swim instructors, head guard. And I tried to explain to individuals who were coming up that you can apply for multiple positions, especially at the pool. If you want to be both a lifeguard and a swim instructor, you can. If you just want to be a swim instructor, you can. If you want to do all 3, by all means, you absolutely can. We tried to do it a little bit earlier this year than last year, mainly because with the pool, it's going to take me a while to certify and train everyone. I am going to be the instructor to certify everyone in Red Cross. And then for my swim instructors, we're going to need a few days also to teach them all of the, basically all the strokes in the teaching aspect for swim instructors. So we are accepting applications right now. If you got a physical copy, you can drop them off, any day between Monday through Friday, between working hours. Or soon I'm going to open up applications on Indeed as well. So, if anyone has questions, by all means, they can give us a call.
The rec department's a great department to work for. So
I do have a lot of, I think honestly about 60 to 70% of the individuals who worked last year are coming back this year.
The high return ratio.
Yeah, most of them, they just are, graduated from college and might be going into like internships. But most of them are coming back, which is nice.
work, but it's a good department to be in. I don't know how well Janelle is down there in her office. That's important. I love Janelle. All right, with that, Kevin Naso, what you got, buddy, down there?
Yeah, just sticking on the Island Fest topic. It's coming up pretty quick. Building a team for the beverage tent. So if anybody still wants to volunteer, we could definitely use the help. And we are going to be having, or they are going to be having, the Island Cup again, which I believe is the 10th or 11th annual. So there'll be
Nice.
a lot more people there this year. So
Good.
looking forward to it.
Good, Kevin?
Good.
Thank you. Keith. I'm trying to look down there.
Yeah, yes, Chad. How are you doing today?
Yes, sir. What you got with Kiwanis and you? And
Yeah, all I got for Kiwanis is if you want your flag guaranteed to be up by Armed Services Day on May 17th, the cutoff for registration for those is May 3rd. Because I have a lot of work to do.
Are you leaving those up all year? I know there was some
They are
discussion
going
about
to be
that.
up from Armed Services Day through Veterans Day. So we'll have them around the Commons, but not in the middle of the Commons. That way you can still have the concerts and everything else will be there. And then everywhere else they should be up. But we'll be driving around throughout the year to periodically update them and fix them and put new cards on. I don't know what happened last year, but a bunch of ours ended up behind the Tipsy Fish. So if you guys don't like it where it's at, we can move the one for the Rec Commission. But yeah, about 3 of our flags ended up behind the building. We have no idea why. That's all I have, Chad.
Jameson, I apologize. I will get to you.
That's all good.
I forgot. All right, Marissa?
Not much. Just still working out the kinks on the new resident welcome baskets. We've delivered quite a few so far. Getting ready to do the January residents. For all of those businesses that have contacted me that want to participate, we're getting an average right now of 8 to 10 per month. I'm sure that will go up in summer months. So if you'd like to get your items together and drop them off at the recreation department, or you can contact me. The recreation department has my contact information, and we can find a way to get those to you. We're just going to put together what we have every month and deliver those. So if you didn't participate last month and would like to participate next month, just let us know. and we're just continuing to work out a system to do that.
She's got her list right here. So, oh, we'll get it for you. Thanks, Marissa. Stacy?
I just want to say thanks, spring. I'm ready and can't wait for Island Fest and let's get warm. That's all.
Thank you, ma'am. I want to shout out real quick. You mentioned concerts. I know you were talking about Macomb Street, but the concerts at Water's Edge and Tipsy Fish have all been booked and committed. They start on Thursday, June 19th. We have 10 lined up. We're not doing one on Thursday, July 3rd, but they do run all the way until the end of August 28th. So every Thursday at Water's Edge and Tipsy Fish, we're going to have some good bands. So make sure you come out and join those free concerts. Madam Wendy Kearney.
I'll let Alex go first.
All right. Alex.
Okay. Today was parent-teacher conferences at the middle school. The halls at the middle school are going to be a bit emptier this coming week. The majority of the 8th graders will be heading to Washington, D.C. for our 8th grade trip. Please wish us safe travels. The rec department has partnered with the high school and are offering a middle school clay club. There was a parent meeting last Tuesday and it was a good turnout. Rec has also partnered with the middle school to offer a lacrosse club for those 6th and 8th grade students. Yeah. A parent meeting was held last night at the middle school. Interested students must register for both clubs through the rec department. Middle school sports tryouts are coming up. 7th grade baseball is on Monday, March 10th. 8th grade baseball is on Monday, March 17th, and Tuesday, March 18th at 5 p.m. on Field B. Softball is on Wednesday, April 2nd at 2:45 p.m. in the middle school West Gym. Track and field is on Monday, March 10th. Sign-up meeting at 2:30 in East Gym and practice at 2:45 p.m. at the weather department. We have an assembly coming up Friday, March 21st. Basketball Jones will be at the middle school. He is a great motivational speaker and author. Thank you, PAT, for funding this event.
Thank you, sir. Are you going to have that guy, that Jungle Larry, bring all those animals too? Do you know?
That's Science Alive.
I was talking to our student liaison,
He
Madam
doesn't know.
Kearney.
Listen, I plan all
I
those
know you
events.
do, but I was asking him. Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
Your hoodie's in that box when you leave. Don't forget it.
All right. Unfortunately, Emma could not be here tonight, but she did send me her report, so I will read that. Parent-teacher conferences are tonight at the high school. They were actually at 1 to 3, and then I think 5 to 7 or 6, 5 to 7. Yeah, I could go to 1 to the 3. Charity week is next week. We have a whole week of fun things planned to help fund 2 charities, Tails and Camp Kenson. Make sure to bring your money. All right. Spring break is coming up soon. So excited. We have a half day on March 21st and are off the following week. Just wanted to give a huge shout out to our varsity competitive cheer team. They did an amazing job and got second place out of the entire state of Michigan. We had a little assembly for them on Monday during 7th hour to show our love and support while they performed their awesome stunts. And that was her report.
Thank you, Emma.
All right, and mine.
Oh, your 10-pager.
No, it's not long. Shush. All right, so happy Social Worker Appreciation Week. Yay. Thank you.
Yay.
Yes. To our 3 social workers in our district, Nicole is our social worker for Park Lane and Meridian. Heather is at the middle school, and Shelby is at the high school. And so PAT, we gave gifts. Well, I still have one more day tomorrow, but we're giving gifts every day for them. We appreciate all their hard work and dedication that they provide to all of our GITS students and staff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For new incoming kindergartners, there's a parent informational night coming up Wednesday, March 19th at 6 o'clock at the admin building. Our middle school band also has our spring concert the same day at 5:30 at the middle school. And then We continue to offer a variety of amazing after-school classes, primarily at Park Lane and Meridian, although we would love to see more. I would love to see more at the middle school, and I'm trying, but it's just been a little bit harder, but I'm trying. Upcoming classes we have at Meridian include St. Patrick's Day cookie decorating and Diary of a Wimpy Kid club, floral design, bracelet making, recorder club, and art. And then for Park Lane, we have flower canvas art, spring art class, all things Bluey club, comic book club, cursive class, friends club, and then another cooking club. The cooking classes are just a huge hit for both the buildings. They're actually not cooking in the building, but they're doing other things that they don't have to use the oven or anything.
No
So,
baked cookies?
huh?
No baked cookies?
But they're huge. I mean, they're a huge
That's not
hit.
your thing.
We have a parent and tot fit mix class at the farm starting next week on Monday, March 10th and Monday, March 17th from 10:45 to 11:15. This class is a unique combination of tumbling, strength training, obstacle courses, and yoga. We also have a Pilates class, which starts, it's 2 days as well, Thursday, March 13th and Thursday, March 20th. We have 2 different sessions offered, 9 to 9:45, and then 3 to 3:45, which the afternoon would be great if there's any high school kids that want to do it. They could make it over to the farm in time to do that. And this class consists of mat, Pilates with balls, bands, calisthenics, mobility strength, training, and yoga. And then for any of these classes, whether they're the after school or the ones we offer at the farm, I just encourage folks to sign up sooner than later because we do watch those numbers. And if the numbers are low, then we end up canceling the classes. So if you are interested, please sign up. And then I just want, even though Emma's not here, I just wanted to our commission to wish her the very best of luck. She's actually participating in the solo and ensemble this Saturday at Woodhaven High School for singing. So hopefully she'll come home with a medal. So, and that's it. See, it wasn't long.
Wasn't long. We have classes for adults like at 7 in the evening at the farm? Any kind of,
Sign language.
no, I mean like yoga or
Yeah, we have
Pilates
the
and all that?
that. Yeah, there's I can't remember what it's called, but there is one that she does.
Something in the evening for
move,
after work
yeah.
that people.
All right, I don't.
Yeah,
I know.
it's a fitness class. I just can't.
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking at some other ones too. What's that one? Cardio drumming.
Ah.
We're looking at cardio drumming. I know someone
I
reached
say
out to
we
me
get the
about
things
that.
that hang from the ceiling that you can like.
We got
jump
those
and-
big.
The bungee classes.
Yes, those would be amazing.
Nah. We put poles in and stuff.
There you
I mean,
go.
that's
What,
different.
There you go.
what about what?
The bungee classes would be so much fun.
Sorry, Jade.
Whenever they come up on Facebook, I always send them to you guys and go, "Can we do this? Can we do this?"
And we have those great big balls, don't we? Isn't that what they use for cardio drumming?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have cardio drumming.
Yeah.
I just recommend we do stuff during the day too, because if you have at-home moms that their kids are in school, that
But
would
we
be the
get
ideal
people
time
that
to
would
do
do
it.
work all day too, and they're asking for
Absolutely.
classes after work hours.
So I would do.
The classes get in the flow. That's what it is. That's
the flow, yeah.
it's
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I
7:15.
know
Yeah.
it's something getting. Yeah.
Jameson, I'm sorry I missed your report.
That's okay. So I just want to say I think it's funny that the middle school has a cursive club.
No, that's not at the middle school.
Oh, is it the
No, that's at
elementary?
Park Lane,
At
yeah.
elementary?
Well,
Well,
they don't-
either way, it's like going to like Egyptian hieroglyphics club when I was a kid. So I think it's like.
Well, it's because they don't teach cursive.
Yeah,
you
I
signed a
actually
check.
think it's kind of cool. What's
Huh?
that? No.
Yeah.
Oh my
We've had it at
gosh.
Park Lane and Meridian.
Oh yeah.
So,
Huh.
yeah.
Do you have to take a special class for cursive writing?
Well, they used to teach it in school, but
They took it out of the
curriculums,
curriculums, though.
So like they don't.
So they don't sign checks anymore?
no, they
with
just
kids
print
and stuff?
checks.
Yeah, they
don't
write
even
their name.
Yeah.
So I was
Bring it back.
your Island Fest meeting. You said was next Wednesday. Are you doing it here in the building somewhere?
No, there's no.
I'm
date.
leaving Monday morning for 3 weeks.
Oh, didn't you say you were having a meeting next week?
No, we're having a group. We're going to have something, but like next month.
Okay. Well, if I think because I was just thinking about it, I think what that would be, like if you wanted to look at it from a policies and procedure perspective, is probably just a study session. So it doesn't have to be televised or anything
Yeah.
like that. But it would be a good idea to notice it, right? So
All
just
right.
let Brian know that on
And then-
Tuesday we're going to meet in the room downstairs at 10.
And I would like for you to be with Wendy and I, and anybody else that wants to attend. We always have one with the police and fire, but that's sometime in mid-May.
Okay. I can make sure I'm there.
We
for
do that at the fire department. And
Okay.
it's really good. Janelle's there, everybody's there, so.
I think we've beat the budget horse quite a bit, so I don't need to talk. Everybody knows it's budget season.
Yes.
And then I did want to commend you, Chad, for attending the cross-departmental meeting you mentioned. I think I was invited, but I couldn't go because there were some changes to my telework schedule with the new federal administration. So I think one of the strengths of Grosse Ile Township is our commission system, right? It's a really cool system where citizens don't have to campaign or anything like that to be involved with local government. And I think it works especially well on this commission because I see almost everybody on this commission is in-depthly involved and doing work outside of this room, right? So that's good. One of the downsides to the commission system is that it creates silos, right? It creates separation of effort. So those cross-departmental meetings are really great ways to break down like those silos and start the departmental crosstalk. Because ultimately, Grosse Ile's, what is it? It's not the Open Space Commission, Greenways and Open Space, BPAC, Recreation are really all doing the same thing, right? Which is providing opportunities for islanders to, recreate and get outside and enjoy the place they live. So I would say like keep doing that. If you guys can maybe even make it quarterly or something,
Sure.
because there's so many areas where those three commissions are all doing the same thing with separate pots of money in separate areas where I bet you there's a ton of efficiencies we can find to get either more services and resources to the community or to just save money across the department. So that's a great job, Chad. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah, and our commission, I mean, I gave major props to our department and all of you here that are ignoring me right now, but it's all good. I mean, it was good. I found it very interesting too. I'm glad it wasn't.
And then the last thing was, I just want to thank Zaid and Ash. I know budgets are always a pain. Doesn't matter what echelon of government you're at. It's a lot of work. I've had some concerns with the rec department budgeting in the past, not necessarily with how money was being spent, but with how. I don't think honest is the right word, but how rigorous the budgeting was projecting things, right? And sometimes it would really seem like a swag. I don't think you guys took a swag at any of this. I looked at a lot of the FY 22, 23, 24 numbers from the additional budget sheets, and I think you guys have done a good job. So I just want to commend you for that. I appreciate it. In fact, I think you had the only budget last night that didn't ruffle any feathers, so.
My gosh, Jameson.
Other than the ones I ruffled.
Dude.
So that's all I've got. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. With that, our next meeting is April 3rd, 2025. With that, I would like a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:13.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Take time to volunteer for your community. Have a good night.